Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Attaining the Second Cognition. I'm Endall Beall, and the title of this presentation is Rattling Cages. Since last year, we have been providing a lot of challenging information on a broad range of topical matter. We realize that a goodly portion of these presentations have been pretty shocking to what a lot of people believe and perceive as their reality. Our intent in these video presentations and our books is not to be some kind of shock jocks, but to awaken people from a near hypnotic sleep state of cognitive awareness. You can't do this if you take the same old blasé approach when trying to awaken people. Sometimes it takes a very direct approach to get their attention, and that is what our video presentations provide. We do not do this to be antagonistic, but to educate. In the modern age of Fabian-created politically correct speech, it is virtually a crime to be blunt and straightforward with almost anything you say. A number of our viewers have taken umbrage at the no-nonsense approach in our videos. Based on the nature of the Hapim virus and the subsequent cultural programming under carefully guided Fabian Marxism, it seems like people around the world are all looking to be offended over one thing or another. We covered this in our video, Living in a World of Being Offended. Being honest and straightforward in what one says, it seems, is no longer an acceptable practice. Living in this world of being offended, people look through tainted glasses, seeking innuendo or hidden meanings in what people say. I'm here to tell you, we mean what we say and we say what we mean. If you are looking to find subliminal messages or hidden meanings behind the words we speak, I'm certain that an individual can falsely attribute many different meanings to what we say in plain language. But in all honesty, folks, you are only going to drive yourself nuts trying to find hidden meaning where there is none where our presentations are concerned. As a general rule, most people don't like frank and honest speech. They don't like someone who is blunt and to the point. They would rather that people dance around the meaning of what they say and leave it up to the listener to determine what is being said through innuendo and unspoken nuance. People feel that you should be nice and cater to their Hapim-sensitive emotional needs. They want to be emotionally mollycoddled with words because the fact is that the truth can often be hurtful. In fact, truth generally is emotionally uncomfortable because truth destroys the illusions of perception, whether that perception is about the world we live in or our own perceptions about ourselves. Those who are genuinely doing the hard work to advance their Soika into the second cognition have already figured out that this is a tough road. Changing one's state of cognitive awareness is neither easy nor does it come quickly, for anyone. For the first time in human history, humanity is being provided a way out of the authoritarian system of control through our work, without the words being wrapped in philosophy and mysticism. Granted, there have been forerunners in this process who have tried to show humanity a better way to live without all the tyranny that surrounds us, but over thousands of years or through misinterpretations by others who had their own agenda, these teachings have been corrupted and obfuscated so much as to become almost meaningless. In the case of Friedrich Nietzsche, he did leave his own words behind, but what he tried to teach humanity was wrapped in so much other philosophical innuendo that philosophers to this day still don't understand his core message. Our chosen task is to take these teachings and clarify them into modern vernacular so the everyday man or woman on the street can understand what is being taught by these forerunners to the second cognition. We are also sharing our own personal experiences in cognitive advancement, and given that they are our personal experiences, there is no authority beyond these experiences that we have to rely on to share the information we do. We are sharing ideas that helped advance our consciousness into the second cognition, and what we did can be done by others, provided they want to do the hard work that we did to achieve it. Every step of the way in my own personal process, I was continually confronted with what some would call shocks to my consciousness. The more I studied a wide variety of mystical traditions, the more I came away with no answers. This lack of answers honestly pissed me off because I got tired of being told to meditate for no clear purpose, or that I should eat vegetarian if I wanted to advance spiritually, or that I needed to love everyone and love would fix everything. For any of our listeners who have been caught up in that spiritual trap, I ask you, how's that working out for you? I also got into the conspiracy theory research, and like the spiritual bailiwick, I kept running up against no solutions. There were conspiracy researchers worldwide, and still are, who are great at identifying parts of the problem, but no one was offering solutions to all these woes that their research revealed. No matter where I looked, there was no shortage of problem identification, and nobody, and I do mean nobody, had a solution to the issues facing humanity beyond the tried and true and failed first cognition quasi-solutions and mystical nonsense. Most of these alleged mainstream solutions had to do with either a ballot box or bullets, neither of which have ever changed the authoritarian status quo for more than a brief period of time. As for the mystical solutions, we have been more than thorough in covering that in our other videos. Anyone who takes an honest look at the world has to admit that, well, things are pretty fucked up all over the place. What I ask our viewers to observe in all this chaos is what solutions, if any, are being offered. What you will see, provided there are any solutions put forth at all, is the same old tired and worn out first cognition bullshit. There are no solutions that the first cognition world can offer that haven't been tried and failed again and again throughout history. Humanity has to change because the first cognition system isn't going to. First cognition perception has reached its pinnacle, and you only have to look at the world around you to see that the only direction from here forward is down. Advancing your consciousness is not about intellectualism or intellectual pursuits. We have had very intellectual people throughout time, and there is nothing that intellectualism has wrought that solved any of the problems of their times, nor what the intellectuals of today are doing that is any better where solutions may be forthcoming. I'm not disparaging intelligence, but I am disparaging the mindset of an elite bunch of assholes who pride themselves on their intellectualism, and not a one can provide a cogent solution to fix humanity in the system of cognitive slavery that holds an entire species in cognitive subjugation. If intellectualism led to advanced consciousness, then humanity would be in a much better shape today than it is. Oh, the elite can blame this situation on the unwashed masses and the ignorance of the people they intentionally dumb down with their political and religious agendas, but that is only the pot calling the kettle black, with puffed up, arrogant, Hapim-infected individuals lording it over others. With the habits of the Hapim virus working in the minds of all humanity, every individual is a stone's throw away from becoming another Napoleon or Caesar. With the effects of the Hapim virus present in our minds, we are all petty tyrants, until we can destroy the symptoms of this hateful mind virus and free ourselves from its parasitic clutches. These ideas rattle our cognitive cages. They challenge us right where we live, right in our own virus-poisoned minds. The Hapim virus wants you to deny all this, because so long as you deny the truth, the hive virus can control your world of perceptual illusion. The cure of the Hapim infection is the truth. Not just the truth you like, but most especially the truth you don't like. The Hapim virus and those who control the minds of humanity want you complacent and disbelieving of the truth, for denial leaves both the virus and the herds into which the virus clusters totally controllable by those who have appointed themselves as your overlords. Are we intentionally rattling cognitive cages? You bet we are. For that is the only way to shake your consciousness free from this matrix-like illusion you perceive as your reality. Just as in the Matrix film, you can be one of the brain-dead controlled slaves, asleep and living in the world of illusion, or you can choose to wake yourself from this cognitive nightmare and gain your own cognitive freedom. The system is not going to provide you a way out of this nightmare. It is only going to reinforce it in order to keep you as a cognitive slave to its designs. You are not going to change the system by playing by the system's rules where your consciousness is concerned. If you believe that protests, either civil or violent, are going to change anything, you're sadly mistaken. These tactics have been used by Marxists since Karl Marx conceived communism. Gathering together in peaceful protest may show a sense of solidarity with people who think like you, but it has never changed a goddamn thing. There is literally talk in the U.S. amongst the public about another civil war on the heels of the last presidential election. I'm serious. Idiot first cognition people, probably with no shortage of Fabian agitators on both sides of the political spectrum, are seriously entertaining such nonsense ideas. Violent revolutions never solved anything. In the end, you only see one system of authoritarianism replacing another, and nothing ever changes. The only thing that is going to stop this vicious cycle of repeating history is to break these ingrained, programmed patterns in our consciousness and transcend first cognition limited perceptions. Millions of people worldwide are virtually begging for a shift in consciousness, yet the great majority of them are waiting for some magical outside agent to wave a magic wand and give it to humanity for free. What kind of entitlement, spiritual welfare state mentality is that? If you want a shift in consciousness, you are totally in charge of making it happen for yourself. You're going to get your cognitive cage rattled many times along the way. The only thing we are doing with our work is to rattle those cages faster than you might have on your own. This is the fast track to cognitive advancement. We are rattling those cages that we feel will be the most beneficial to our audience, and yes, we are rattling them very hard. Only you can determine how beneficial this process is for you for your own cognitive advancement. What humanity is sadly lacking at this point of its evolution is genuine common sense and genuine wisdom. To advance into the second cognition, the individual is going to have to develop both of these qualities in abundance. For those who don't really know what wisdom is, or if they would like to expand their perceptions on wisdom, I recently released a treatise explaining wisdom in my latest book, Understanding Wisdom, a treatise on wisdom viewed from the second cognition, which can be purchased by those interested on Amazon or Kindle or with a 10% discount on our website listed in the comments section below. I would like to thank all of our listeners and subscribers and wish all of those who have embarked on the road to the second cognition the best of luck in their efforts to advance themselves. Stick with the process. The payoff is more than worth the trouble to get there. Until next time, stay the course and don't give up on yourself.